Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss the elections this week, why they are more important than most people suppose, and what you can do to double or even treble your personal voting power. So this Thursday, many of us have elections. I don't think there's any in Scotland or Northern Ireland, but I think pretty much everyone in England, and I think Wales, has something to vote for. Only so many places have elections for local councillors. There are others who are voting for elected mayors. In London, you've got local assembly elections as well. But most, like myself, in England and Wales, will at least be voting for the Police and Crime Commissioner, or PCC. Traditionally, turnout is pretty low for these elections, especially if all you have to vote on is the PCC. But I just want to point this out. Rishi Sunak is taking these elections, all of them, very, very seriously. This is why he's been on a tour for the last week and a bit. Major announcements. He's not been campaigning. He's rubbish at that. He's not been going out and about campaigning as such. He's just been making major speeches. A lot of them. Probably more major speeches in the last week and a half than entire time as Prime Minister. His attacks on welfare benefit recipients, especially those with disabilities and mental illness. His fake promise for the defence budget, which has already been debunked by the Institute for Fiscal Studies. His increased focus on the Rwanda plan. All of it is a desperate attempt to get people to turn up and vote Conservative this Thursday. And why does Sunak care so much? Because he fears that if the results go below some threshold of acceptability for his MPs, that they will take it as a disastrous sign for the coming general election, which is what they really care about. He may face a serious move to get rid of him. Quite a few mainstream media outlets, including Tory outlets, are openly reporting on plans to replace him with Penny Mordaunt. Sunak's ego simply cannot take that level of embarrassment. There's even talk of him being forced to call a summer election if there is a major push against him. Now, if you ask me, I would say all elections are important. All elected positions have the power to directly affect your quality of life in some way. However, these elections are bigger than the sum of their parts. If the results are really bad for the Tories, they are going to take it as a proxy vote of no confidence in Rishi Sunak as far as the general election goes. So it could literally precipitate an earlier general election. And the beauty of the nature of the sort of elections that we have this week is because turnout is lower than for a general election and way lower if it's only for a PCC election in your area, then your vote actually counts for more, naturally, because you will represent a greater proportion of the total number of votes cast. But there are other ways to boost the power of your vote than simply take advantage of natural apathy. In fact, there are probably two major ways to boost the impact of your vote. The first is take someone along with you. So even if you are intending to vote yourself, as I am, I'm fairly confident that you will know, as I do, someone, even maybe in your own household, who is eligible to vote. They've registered, they've got the appropriate ID, they could absolutely go and vote this Thursday, but they're not going to because they can't be bothered. If you can persuade them to go and vote with you, or come for a walk with us, then your vote has suddenly turned into two. As long as they don't vote Tory, of course. Don't do that. Don't waste time trying to persuade those to go and vote. But if you are a bit discerning in who you target, then if everyone going to vote anyway against the Conservatives persuades one other person to go who wasn't going to bother, you've just doubled your voting power. Make sure they have their ID with them. Check it for them. A passport or driving licence is best. If you can persuade two people, you can treble your voting power. And turnout is going to be absolutely key at these elections. It really is the difference. Some of the polling on the key contests the Tories are looking at is really very tight. But there's a second way to boost the impact of your vote as well. Tactical voting. Now, I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it a lot. And it's really important for these elections as well. The StopTheTories.vote website has got recommendations for loads of elections. There are some areas where the Conservatives have no chance of winning, in which case they will say to vote for whomever you like. Remember, it's an anti-Tory tactical voting site. It's not there to promote any particular party. It's just there to get rid of Conservatives. There are some areas where it's so close to call the best tactical vote choice is not clear, in which case they may still wait until the day you're going to vote to use the site. If it's still inconclusive, take your best guess based on your local knowledge. For example, if it seems to be between, say, I don't know, the Lib Dems and Greens, think to yourself, well, actually, one of those candidates has been really putting in a shift and there's been loads of campaign leaflets, loads of activity. Well, you use your local knowledge to go, that's probably the one to go for then. Otherwise, just take your best guess, but in lots and lots of contests, PCC contests, local election contests, London Assembly, mayor, there's 10 mayoral elections, there will be a tactical vote recommendation for you. You just have to put your postcode into the search. You don't have to tick the box to sign up if you don't want to. You can just put it in there, use it and tell others about it as well. The combination of these two things could be huge. Persuade an apathetic voter to go along with you to vote. I'm going to be persuading my fiancée to go. She can't be bothered. I'm going to call it a date. Oh, come on a romantic walk with me, which just so happens to be ticking a box at the end of it with a pencil. It worked last time. You may have to come up with your own motivation for the eligible non-voter in your life, but if we all get one non-voter to vote this Thursday, we've doubled the turnout specifically for the anti-Tory vote. And if you combine this with tactical voting, for those who are prepared to do so, not everyone is, of course, then you increase the impact of your vote still further. And if we can do these two things on a large enough scale in the right areas, that can be the difference between the Tories breathing a sigh of relief this weekend and facing a nightmare situation for them. It happened last year. There was a huge level of tactical voting last year. So links in the description below. There we are. Those are my thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe for further content and click the like button. You can also sign up for memberships if you'd like to support the channel further. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.